Good evening and welcome to the first edition of The Point of View for the year 2022. My name is Bernard Avle. Thank you for joining us. Happy New Year to you and thank you for being with us. Well, tonight we begin a series of programs to shed light on what we expect to be a very interesting year. Today's show is a preview show for what we expect in one aspect of the issues we'll be discussing throughout the year. So it's a preview show on politics. We'll be doing preview shows on business, preview shows on the economy, preview shows on technology, and also geopolitics and the African continent, all in the coming days. So tonight, I'll be looking at what the political landscape promises to look like in the year 2022. What are the leading parties doing? What are some of the major elections that have to be held? Who are the leading candidates in these elections? How do we expect voting to go? What are the changes the political parties are making? And what do all these things mean for our country's future? I'll tell you more when we come back who my guest will be. It's an internal show tonight. Promises to be very interesting and insightful. Stay with us. So for our first show this year, we'll be looking at the politics of Ghana in the coming year. What do we expect to see in the leading political parties? What do we expect to see at the Electoral Commission? What will be happening in Parliament? Some of these questions will be addressed tonight. My guests are two of our very own. Sam Moriafi is our presidential correspondent. He's been covering the New Patriotic Party for 14 years. So he's covered them in opposition and also in government. Sammy, great to have you. Good evening.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Thank you for being on the show. I also have Kojo Ajiman, who's been covering the NDC for at least 7 years. Kojo covers the NDC when they have a big story, covers President Mahama, former President Mahama as well. Kojo, good to have you. Good evening.
Good evening, Bernard.
Great to see you. So tonight we'll start with the parties. Later on we'll talk about other things. But before we even get into this, there's a story on citynewsroom.com that the Fix the Country team is petitioning the president to remove the EC boss and their deputies, or the deputies for disenfranchised SAL residents. So it looks like they have set the tone for what to expect with the EC. The EC has not had it easy at all in the past few months. We also know that there are a few other issues happening within our body politic. Maybe we'll get into that story later on. But Sammy, let me start with you. So what type of year was 2021 for the MPP and the government, because you've covered the presidency? How did the president see the first year of his administration? I'm sure he met the call, the press call. Did he say anything about how he felt about how the year went and Parliament and all that's been going on with all the struggles? What are his thoughts on that?
All right, thank you very much, Bernard. So at this meeting, it was an informal meeting where we had the opportunity to ask him a few questions on how governance has been so far. Because 2021 was when he was done with his first term, so he was coming to the second term. What really dominated the conversation throughout was the pandemic. You know, it was something that wasn't expected. He said that he threw the government or someone out of gear because it was the first time the government was experiencing or the world was experiencing such a pandemic. But then they are hoping that in 2021, which was the year gone by, they were going to put things in place that will bring back the economy from the ravages of the pandemic. So for them, the coronavirus pandemic really affected governance in Ghana as well as the pandemic. For the MPP as a political party, they also had their own take when it comes to the pandemic as well. You know, they were supposed to hold series of party events, but because of the pandemic, they had to postpone some of them or even defer other bodies within the party to take those decisions on behalf of the party. So for them, the pandemic really affected.
What about parliamentary happenings? Did he express anything? Because it's almost like his budget nearly got rejected.
Yeah.
There's been, even some of his ministers had to get voted. They had to do a secret ballot to pass, I think, 3 of the ministers. Did he express any feelings about what's going on in Parliament?
He is a bit worried with development in Parliament because in time past there was a clear cut between majority and minority, but now everything has to go to vote. So he expressed a bit of worry when it comes to development in Parliament. I remember one colleague asked him his feelings on what's happening in Parliament. He said, well, he's a Democrat. He's someone who believes in democracy all these years, but really what we are seeing in Parliament is not something he was expecting. But from how it is looking now, there always must be a consensus and compromises in reaching an agreement. He was willing to reach all these agreements and compromising with the other side.
We'll come to e-levy later on. Kojo, what about you? This year, I think the previous year, the major event will be the thank you tour of the NDC flag bearer, right?
Yeah, but then beginning 2021 was coming out of the 2020 election. The NDC, and for that matter, former President Mahama, was a little bit disappointed at the outcome of the 2020 general election. You know, they went to the Supreme Court, and the outcome of the ruling was not actually in their favor. But then they were hopeful of what was going to happen in Parliament, looking at what we have in Parliament now, 137 there. And then from there, we move on to, they had to also put in place strategies to reorganize the party, learn their mistakes, and then also draw up new strategies for the election year 2024. And then the thank you tour, he rounded up the year with thank you tours.
So you went to all 16 regions?
All 16 regions, thanking the people for, because looking at the results, he pulled a little over 47%. For someone who has been a former president, coming back for the second time. 2016, it didn't work well, and then 2020, and even what happened in Parliament. So he had to go out there and thank the people for, showing him such massive support.
Does this seem to be the hand behind the parliamentary happenings? There's a view that the minorities' position in Parliament is largely influenced by what he thinks, even though he hasn't publicly come out to speak. It appears the hard line of the minority seems to be coming from. What do you know about that?
Of course, major decisions that are taken at the parliamentary level, that's on the minority side. Now should, go through a process. A process, the former president should be in the known, because that is their strong force in Parliament, trying to whip the government in line and also make sure that they don't get the government, they get the government to do what is in the interest of Ghanaians. That's how they put it. Yeah, so normally before decisions are taken, the minority leader and the minority chief whip and other leaders of the minority side,
they meet him.
And some of the executives, for example, Samuel Fusampo, for the national chairman, Esiedin Ketia, who is the General Secretary and also a member of the Parliamentary Service Board, all these people would have to meet, and so that they sing the same chorus.
So who is the leader of the NDC now? Who's driving the NDC's agenda? Is it Haruna Idrisu? Is it President Mahama? Or is it General Mosquito?
It's the minority in Parliament.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I see. But I thought you said that all those decisions have to be ratified by...
Of course, they have to decide on which way to go.
So I'm not talking in terms of informally. Basically, who's the most important person in the NDC now? Obviously, that's with President Mahama, or is it General Mosquito?
So I would say President Mahama is still being given that kind of respect as a leader of the NDC now, even though he's still the flag.
So the question, who calls the shots? He calls the shots?
Not necessarily. It's just an agreement between the minority leadership, party executives, and then the former president.
I see. Because when I asked the question, of course, the president is in office, so you can tell that he calls the shots.
But I don't know the NDC constitution though, but then for the MPP constitution, what I know that when the party is in power, the president is the leader. But when the party is in opposition, it's the national chairman who is the leader. Even if there is an elected presidential candidate, it is still the national chairman who is the leader of the party until the person is elected president.
I get it.
Who then becomes the leader of the party.
Is this why when the MPP went for conference recently, they couldn't really agree on some proposals? Because I was told some people wanted them to choose their flag bearer 2 years to the election, and some people did not agree.
A bit of a disagreement because they feel that the party was out last year. So this year, they felt the party is going to elect internal officers. If there should be a constitutional amendment, there's a belief that it's going to favor some people and others will also not be favored. So the agreement was that let's leave all these proposals to the National Council the National Council will take decision of the one they feel is best for the party, and then they will let NEC call another conference so that they can discuss these proposals. But from what I'm picking, there won't be any conference anytime soon.
I see.
Because it's an election year for the party.
So those proposals may not see
They
the
may
light
not
of
come.
day.
Even at all, they will come after the internal election or maybe next year.
So there was a view that they should elect the flag bearer much earlier.
2 years. Per the MPP Constitution Article 16, I guess. It says when the party is in power, a presidential candidate should be elected a year to the election. But when the party is in opposition, it should be 2 clear years
I see.
to elect a flag bearer. Now, the proposal is that whether opposition or in power, let it be 2 years.
But there are people who are in government who don't think that's
Who don't agree because they
there may be a
believe that
parallel.
there will be, you know, when someone is elected the presidential candidate, the person feels that I'm the leader, I'm the boss,
I see.
I'm driving the party. So, because they want to cure a friction between the sitting president and the presidential candidates, they are not happy with that
So MPP's
proposal.
major problem this season is that they have a president who can't run anymore.
Who can run anymore
So whoever they choose has to share the limelight with the president.
with the president?
So they don't want to do that 2 years to
2
an
years
election.
to the election, and they feel that if you do the 2 years, the person will take the shine of the sitting president, and all the focus and attention will be rather on the presidential candidate, which they feel 2 years is longer time for that shine to be on.
What's the NDC's
For the
view on
NDC, when the party is in opposition, the party should elect a flag bearer 2 years before a general election.
Okay.
So it's the other way around.
So when they are in opposition, they elect the flag bearer 2
2
years.
years.
So by next year,
By next year, they should be, going to a Congress to elect a flag bearer.
but I'm told there are some proposals to even make it happen earlier.
Yeah, so as part of the 2022 calendar, they have 3 major elections to run between now and then 2022. They have the flag bearership election, they have the parliamentary candidature election, and they also have the executives, the branch, constituency, regional, and then the national executives. But there are proposals. So far, the Constitution Committee has received over 80 of them.
Okay.
And among these proposals are: 1, we should elect the flag bearer and forgo all other elections.
Wow. So
the flag bearer
the
should
flag
come
bearer elected first. Hey.
Before any other elections are held.
Before national officers, before regional.
Yes.
Some people are proposing this.
They are proposed. It's part of the proposal. Another proposal is that we should forgo the branch election, do the constituency, come to regional to national before we go back to the branch level. There are also proposals
Why are they proposing that?
Well, to also strengthen the party's base at the grassroots level, so that executives will not have much control over local executives. For example, sometimes when they allow they elect the branch executives first, it will automatically tell you who will become the constituency executive.
So when they start from the bottom, you know that the people at the bottom are controlled by those at the top.
Obviously. So now they want to break that cycle.
I see.
So that people will be formidable. They will choose competent leaders at the grassroots level.
Is there any conversation in any of the parties, not just the 2 NDC, about expanding electoral college to have more people vote?
Yes, for the NDC, it's part of one of the proposals. So you remember in 2015, they did this universal outdoor thing that allowed all card-bearing members to vote for parliamentary and presidential. And then they reviewed that, they amended that in 2018 to allow 9 executives from each constituency, all former appointees, and then party national executives. Now, they want to increase the number.
But they may not go to all card-carrying members.
They may not go to all card-bearing members. Because of the rippling effect in 2015, there were allegations that people who were not even NDC members went for cards, and then it swayed some decision to a certain quarters. Yeah.
So let's go back to this point. You're saying that somebody's proposing that they should choose the flag bearer first.
Yes.
Before they choose even the national executive.
Because the flag bearer is the leader of the party when he's chosen. And then he's supposed to run the affairs of the party with executives who can help him push his agenda, who
So
can
the
help
message I
him
want
win.
to say that if this man is the candidate and you are coming, this is the question you're coming to work with.
Yes, whether
you
you
are
like
not
it or
coming
not.
to come and try and get somebody else to be flag bearer.
No.
I
Do you,
feel
does that make sense to you?
it makes sense because a lot of the time, those at the top are accused of manipulating the system to get who they want
They want.
to be executive. So in this MPP internal election, which is going to happen later this year, from the constituency level to the region level, the kind of executives who are elected will give an idea who the presidential candidates will be.
Yeah.
It automatically
Which means
gives an
they are
idea
coming to come and work for one or
for one
somebody else.
to come with the burden of a
So
particular
if you choose the candidate first, there's nothing to come and work
There's
for.
There's
nothing
nothing
to
to.
come and do
So
about it.
he will come in and work with the structure, existing structures of the party,
Wow.
to choose from the branch to the national level.
But that's weird. That's
It's a It's a proposal.
But that means that the
system, but-
old people will vote for
Yes.
That's it.
It's a bit complicated, but the understanding I am getting is that they want to cure that mischief because when they open, normally what they used to vote is called the album among the political
Yeah.
parties. There's a belief that some people deliberately manipulate the
The
album
album.
to take some names out.
You
and
remember
bring
what happened
other
in
names in. So, for instance, if this man is perceived to be a supporter of A, and this man is perceived to be a supporter of B, the one in charge of the album also has a candidate. Maybe he
Might.
supports A or B.
Yeah.
Because he wants candidate A to win, he will make sure that supporters of B do not have
So
their
the
names.
focus is not on the party's unity, but for who will come and support
Their
who.
interest.
And then, of course, Bernard, when that happens, it will give the flag bearer ample time to resolve all outstanding issues
Wow.
within the party. Because, mind you, there are factions and a lot of constituencies in the party.
Even
People-
with NDC? Because I thought NDC is straightforward. Everybody thinks Muhammad is going to
Oh,
win.
there are contenders
But there are
there.
people who oppose Muhammad.
There are people who
Who
are
is
coming.
opposing Muhammad?
So, Dr. Kwabena, former governor of the Bank of Ghana, executive
Has
chairman
he
of...
come out to say? I interviewed him. He said he's thinking about it.
Well,
Well, he's gone beyond that to say he's going to do it.
Sources within the party are saying that he's very much interested in contesting John Dramani Mahama.
Wow.
Yeah. And I also hear the former NHI boss, Sylvester Mensah, is also coming on board.
Really?
Yeah, so two contenders.
Are you sure Mr. Mensah is coming on board? Because the last time it didn't look like somebody was interested.
Well, maybe he was using that as just a launch pad. Yeah.
Have you spoken to him?
My sources within the party.
Okay.
So Bernard, when this happens, it will give the flag bearer ample time
I
to
thought it was
resolve.
Kojo Bonsu rather, who is interested.
Kojo Bonsu has made those pronouncements, but he's not shown any commitment of.
Well, I thought it said Kojo Beba or said Bonsu Beba.
Yeah,
or
the
something.
posters are on Kojo Beba and all that, but we've not really. He's not really made any. Commitment to the party to indicate that he may be running. But of course, his name is also has been
But
tabled.
it's very clear that Mahama is in a comfortable lead.
Of course, when
It's
you
always been.
when
You are being very careful.
No.
When
When you look at the outcome of the 2020 election, the NDC, it will be very, very suicidal for the NDC to change John Dramani Mahama.
Are you talking your opinion or your
No,
analysis?
look, the facts are clear. 2016, he had a little over 26 gains, marginal gains. When you look at 2022 in Parliament, the NDC gained 32 seats more. So it's a gradual process.
What about are you looking at his electoral percentage? Is that what you're saying?
No, his electoral percentage 2020 was 47%.
What was it in 2016?
2016 a little over 40%. Yeah, so between the 45-47% range.
So from
And then
45. Just take your time. I'm just trying to get it. So it was around 45 in 2016,
Yeah,
and he's moved to.
47.
So he's gained.
He's gained more.
I see. So he's on an upward trajectory.
Yes, and mind you, in 2024, it's going to be the NPP would like to break the 8, but this is the time normally when you look at Ghana's electoral cycle. This is normally the time when the opposition parties make more gains and win power.
So the general feeling in the NDC is that it's better to keep somebody they know
It's better
who
to
has
keep-
one term to run.
Yes, who has one term to run. He, of course, and then also someone who has been on the ticket before, someone who is pulling the numbers. And
so if they were to vote for presidential candidates before they went for the other elections, Mahama will win easily.
Mahama will win
easily. And what if they did it from the other way around? What if they said, let's do branch executive and let's do regional and all those?
Then he's still going to win, but it's going to be he's still going to win. The reason why I'm saying is that he embarked on a thank you tour lately, and then number two, during the party reorganization period, he was the main frontier. He was the one going to the people. In fact, he held meetings, town hall meetings with people, listened to them, got to know what really went.
He's already behaving like the flag bearer.
Yeah, but I mean, so he has an upper hand, meeting the people, listening to them, getting to know what really went on wrong during the 2020 election, and some lessons learned. So when you look at the whole Mahama project, this is a man who has passed through the mill, pulling the numbers for the party. And then you want to present someone either than him. It will be suicidal.
So the feeling is that he's going to win. All right. Well, this is the point of view where we're basically trying to look into the year ahead of us to try and see what's going to happen politically. My guest, Kojo Ajiman, who's covered the NDC for a few years, 7 years or so. Samir Yafi covered the MPP for at least 14 years. We're trying to understand the landscape. A lot of elections will be held, branch, polling station, regional, and all of those things. Who are the main contenders? How is it going to pan out? What is Parliament going to look like? And how are things going to pan out? Stay with us. We'll come back with more. Welcome back to The Point of View. It's your first edition for the year 2022. Tonight we're trying to peek into the crystal ball 2022 politics. And my guest, Kojo Ajiman, covered the NDC for a number of years. Samir Yafi covered the MPP for a number of years, is the presidential correspondent. Later in the course of the month, we'll look at the economy, we'll look at the business environment, we'll look at technology, all different types of previews for the year as we set the scene. So let's come back to Samir now. So you said the NPP may be interested in what the NDC is trying to do. In fact, the NDC hasn't even made a decision, but somebody is proposing that they should choose the flag bearer first. Is it fair for me to say the biggest question in NPP now is who succeeds Nana Addo?
That is it. That's on the mind of every supporter or every member of the NPP. It is what's occupying their mind now, including the executives.
So when you go to a funeral and the NPP people there, that's what they are discussing? That's
what they are discussing. Who is going to succeed Akufo-Addo?
Who are the leading contenders?
So for now, per what we've heard, we have 6 people who, though they have an official idea, we have people close to them who have said that one way or the other, these people are going to contest. The vice president, we've seen his posters around. People say he's going to break the 8. Alan Chemantin, the trade minister, Boache Jako, he was one of the 17 that contested in 2007. There's Joe Gate. There's Dr. Kofi Kunedua Preku.
Oh, he's also interested?
He's currently with ECOWAS. He works with the ECOWAS monetary policy unit in Abuja. And also Dr. Efria Koto, the Greek minister. In fact, he started even meeting delegates.
Already?
He, on his regular regional tours as minister, he meets there. There's also the name of Adai Nimo.
He ran sometime.
He ran, that was in 2015.
Yeah.
He was one of the 5 contenders.
So he's still in there?
He's still in there.
He used to be an MP?
Yes, for Mampong.
I see.
Yeah,
but he's no longer MP?
He's no longer a member of parliament. So these
are the 5 names we've heard?
These are the 5 names. But I'm sure as the years go by and the time goes by, you still get new names, showing up. But the lead contenders are Mr. Alan Chemantin and Dr. Mamadou Bawumia. These are the 2 people, a lot of people...
These are the 2 strongest contenders?
Yeah, a lot of people mention their names all the time when you go to these places. And you could tell, or you can tell the reason why these people are leading. Alan, this is not the first time he's contesting. He did in 2007, he did in 2010, and he did in 2015 for the 2016 election. And then
So he's run against Nana Addo 3 times.
on 3 occasions.
So this will be the first time he's running without Nana Addo.
Without Nana Akufo-Addo. This time I'm doing with Dr. Bawumia. But then a lot of people have said, which I have heard, that in order for the party not to hurt itself, because when I believe it or not, this is going to be a very serious contest. And it's going to cause.
It will not be as one-sided as an Nana Addo Alan.
No, it's going to be a serious contest, and the party will
be much closer.
Much closer. It'll be more than what happened in Legon 2011. The party will suffer a lot. A lot of bruises is going to come out from this.
Really?
Parties. Yeah.
People are worried that the fault lines are too clear.
Between Dr. Bawumia and Alan. And there are people who have said, that the best way to cure this hurt or bruises is to have one of them make the other a running mate. That if only is going to happen.
So,
because I have heard one of the party bigwigs say that, let's get former President Kufuor, let's get the chief imam, the religious leaders in the country, put the two of them in a room and say that, okay, fine, Dr. Bawumia, you are a serving vice president. It won't be right constitutionally to serve again as vice president. So you take the lead, let Alan be your running mate, and then go into.
By the way, can somebody be vice president for more than 2 terms?
I don't know about that, but
the lawyers need to help
you. You can, because you are not voted for. It's only the constitution permits that. If only you are a president, you have 2 terms. That's it. But for vice president,
from the NDC camp, who are they expecting to face? Since you are saying it looks like they've chosen Mahama even before the contest, who are they thinking of? So in their calculations,
yeah, in the NDC, the names that have come up against John Dramani Mahama, former BOG governor, and
no, you don't understand my question. I'm saying when NDC sits down and watches the screen that Sami just put up, who are they expecting for him to face? That's the question. I'm not saying who is contesting Mahama in NDC. We already know
it's Mahama.
No, you don't get the question.
No. So
who is Mahama going to face in MPP? Who do they expect to win the MPP contest? That's what I'm asking you.
In the NDC, whoever the NPP, vote for as their flag bearer, is a win for John Dramani Mahama.
What do you mean by that?
You're
saying this is what they think.
This is what they think because they are looking at the numbers and then the 8-year election cycle we have in Ghana.
Yeah, but they will obviously prefer. I get the point, but
so look, drawing
which of them are they working with the assumption that Bawumia is going to win or Alan is going to win? Do they prefer?
It's very dangerous for them to work with only one candidate. In fact, they should work with all the 2 candidates and then put in place strategies to outwit whoever the NPP elects.
I see.
That's what's in the minds. That's what is in the minds of the executives and then the election committee.
So you are not working with any assumption that Bawumia is going to win or Alan is going to win?
Yes, whoever wins, there's a strategy to outwit that person in 2024.
Do they prefer anybody? Do they prefer?
Well, there are so many sources. So one faction prefer Dr. Bawumia to come because of the northern card.
One faction prefers Dr. Bawumia?
Yes. And then one faction also prefers Alan to come because of the age factor.
Age?
Yes.
Why is Alan?
Alan is a little bit. Mahama is just around 65 years or so.
So they are around the same age, or what?
No, Alan Kyerematen is older than John Dramani Mahama.
Alan will be in his late 60s, if I'm right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, late 60s.
So they think John Mahama is a younger, but John Mahama lost to Nana Addo, who's much older. So what's the problem there?
So what I'm trying to say is that whoever the NPP brings, Bawumia or Alan, the NDC has a strategy to outwit the person. Because, Bernard, when you look at the numbers from 2016 to 2020, Mahama is on the ascendancy in terms of the gains. What happened in Parliament and then what happened to his votes.
I get that. I was just asking if there's based on their strategy. Anyway, you can't tell. You are not a member of the party, so I don't know. So let me come back, Sammy. I'll come to you again. Sure. I just wanted to get a sense. So it's a Bawumia versus Alan issue. Now, if they start voting from the polling station upwards, What are the main contests going on?
Okay, so they were supposed to even do the polling station election this month, which is January. But because of few hitches, the party explains that they need to roll out the party ID card system before that can be done. NEC must meet to roll out the guidelines for the election at the polling station. That has not been done. The party is also aiming to launch its school, which they are going to call the MPP Ideological Institute or the MPP Academy, where they believe that they're going to show or they are going to teach the ideals of the MPP, the Dankwa Buziad Noble tradition ideals, so that at least people who want to join the party will do. And my information is that they intend to make Professor Michael Okoye, the former Speaker of Parliament, as the board chair of this particular institute, and the other members in the John Boyd is there, Sam Yuko is there. So they believe that when they are done with all this, which will be at the end of this month, and then they will come to the polling station election. Now, at the polling station, they elect 5 officers. So there's the polling station chairman, there's a polling station
How
secretary.
many polling stations do we have in Ghana? Over 30,000.
Over 30,000. So they will do that election within a day. They will use a day to do all this.
So 5 polling station executives.
Yes.
Is that the equivalent to branch executive in NDC?
So then this is called branch executive.
But it's the same thing.
It's the same
It's
thing.
the same thing.
It's the same thing, yeah. And they're going to have the secretary, the organizer, the youth organizer, and the women's organizer.
For every polling station?
For every polling station.
Over 30-something thousand?
Yes.
I think the last election, check for me, I don't know what it's
And so when they are done, and then they are going to have the electoral coordinators election. Now in the MPP, what forms an electoral area? Sorry, electoral area is when you have 10 polling stations becomes an electoral area. So after the polling station election, they are going to elect an electoral area coordinator who will head 10 polling stations. So 10 polling stations become an electoral area within the MPP. So after that election, that's when they are going to have the constituency elections. Now, Bernard, if you are gunning to lead the MPP as a flag bearer, you should have interest in who becomes the constituency chairman or secretary. Because they are going to have 10 people elected at the constituency level and then 7 people appointed.
So just to clarify, so there are 33,367 polling stations.
Yeah.
So if you...
After the 2020 election.
Yeah, so if you multiply that by 5, that means about 166,000 individuals will be voted for at the polling station.
At the polling station.
Interesting. And all these people have a vote?
They are all delegates.
So 5 times 33,367. Wow, that's a big election.
So as of now, currently, for the MPP...
and are these people voted for or appointed?
They are appointed. They are elected. The polling station
who
are
elects
elected.
them?
There's
the
an
party
election.
supported within the polling station.
Yeah.
So I belong to the polling station. Kojo belongs to the polling station. On the day of election, it will be announced they are going to have an election. So I go there and vote for who I want him to become the chairman of there. And you know, and every polling station there's a number. Some are 1,000, some are 800, 500.
So this will become part of the electoral college?
Yes, it's part of electoral.
So 33,000 polling stations times 5. That's polling station, and then they move to the electoral area coordinator.
So 10 polling stations will have one electoral coordinator. Yes. And then they'll come to the constituency elections. You know, 10 officers are elected and the 7 are appointed, making it 17. And all these 17 are also delegates.
Okay. And
then we'll come to the regional election. They are hoping to do the regional elections between April and May. That's what they hope to do with that one. And that one, they are going to elect 17 officers as a replica of the constituency election. And then June, July, they will do the national election where a lot of people will have interest in. Because the current setup, all the current national officers are not seeking re-election, with the exception of the General Secretary, John Boyd. So the national chairman, Freddie Blay, is not contesting again. The first vice, Madame Asobare, is not contesting again. Mr. F.F. Antor is not contesting again. I hear Mr. Marewa there who wants to contest, but he's leaving the third vice to become second or first vice, one of them. The General Secretary, John Boyd, is the only one seeking re-election. The national organizer, Sami Oku, is not seeking re-election because...
So hold on. The current national executive of the MPP, only the General Secretary is interested in running again? So Freddie Blay is not interested?
Freddie Blay is not going again.
Sami Oku,
because of his new appointment as Director General of the National Lotteries Authority, he's not running again. Nana B, who is the current national youth organizer, is moving from youth organizer to occupy the position of national organizer, replacing Sami Oku.
To contest
for the position of national...
Who are these people you put on the screen?
Okay, so these people are those who are gunning to lead the party as national chairman.
Stephen Ntim has always contested.
This will be the 5th time he's
Lord.
contesting.
Wow.
And
is there a clear favorite?
It will be difficult to call here because Stephen will have the experience. As you all know, this is the 5th time.
Who is Abankwah?
Abankwah is the current national treasurer of the party.
So he's moving.
He's moving to become the national
Professor Ameyaku, former
education minister, former director of Ghana, the current board chair of GIBS. Now he wants to run to be the national chairman.
You are saying there's no clear favorite?
There's no clear favorite. It will be difficult to call. But a lot of people have said that Samuel Boateng has taken an early lead. Asabi, but it's too early to call as we speak now.
So these are the 4 people whose names have come up.
Yes, these are the 4, and I think there are 5. There are 5 in number, Bernard. 5 of
I'm
them.
told Ashite, who died recently,
Ashite also wanted to contest, but unfortunately, he passed. I am
So,
hearing that the Central Regional Chairman Kotin,
may also
contest, but he's yet to come out publicly.
Do we know whether any of these people support Alan or Bawumia or anything like that?
It will be difficult to call, Ben, because openly they don't show it. They don't show it openly.
But Stephen Ntim has been considered an Alan person.
And in time past, that has hurt his electoral fortunes.
What about Ameyaku?
Ameyaku, I can't tell.
Asabi
may be a Bawumia person. May be a Bawumia person.
You're not helping me now. Okay, General Secretary, who is going?
So for the position of General Secretary, 5 people. So
5 people?
Yes. So
and John Boydu is also interested.
John Boydu is still in there. So there's Frederick Opariansa, former MP for Suhum.
Wow.
He has declared that he wants to contest. And there's Charles Bissiou, a presidential staffer.
He's a presidential staffer?
Yeah, he's still a presidential staffer. He's the secretary to the defunct anti-Galamsey.
Imsim, yeah. With all his challenges.
Yeah, and then there's Justin Kodua. He's the current CEO of Ye.
Is it Maslock or Ye?
It's Ye, Youth Employment Agency.
Oh, okay.
So
is he an MP?
No, he's not an MP. The party people call him Okunkom. The reason that they call him, I can't tell, but the youth identify with him.
Has he held an executive position?
No, he hasn't.
I thought it was an Ashanti regional something.
It's coming from the Ashanti region, all right. And then there's Musa Superior, the former mayor of Tamale.
Hey.
He's currently the deputy CEO for the Forestry Commission.
But I thought Mustafa Hamid was supposed to contest.
Mustafa was supposed to, until his appointment came as CEO of NPA. I think he's rescinded his decision on that.
MPA. So these are the 5 people.
These are the 5 incumbents.
But why is John Boydu running again?
Okay, so I had opportunity to speak to him. The explanation he's giving me is that the party is going to the 2024 election. They can't go into that election with new executives altogether. Yeah. They need an old hand.
So he's just sitting. Yes. So he's just doing for party.
For party's sake, they need an old hand.
Is he a favorite?
He's a clear favorite.
Is it popular?
Popular.
So you think he will win?
Yes, John will win.
What about organizer?
Organizer, the names that have come out are 2 so far, which is Nana B and Kamaldeen Abdullahi, the former Nasara coordinator.
So Nana B is the youth organizer?
He's currently the youth organizer.
And Kamaldeen is the former Nasara?
The former Nasara coordinator. He's the board chair. He's a board member of BOST. Then Nana B beat him in the last election for the position of national youth organizer.
And they are now moving to.
And then the same fight is going.
So it's clear that Sami Jemfi, what's his name? Sami Awuku is not standing anymore.
Sami is not going again. Sami is not contesting again because
he made a Facebook post about some billboard in.
There was a huge billboard in Ekropon there. There are rumors that he may want to contest the Ekropon seats, which is currently being occupied by Dokwa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there are people who are pushing for him to contest that particular. So some people went to erect a big billboard, which he came out to say that he's not in support of it.
Oh, wow.
And what they did is not in the best interest of the party. So Sami is not contesting again. So the at least vacant seat for Nana B and Kamaldeen.
There are the 2 names.
There are the 2 names that have come out so far to contest for the position of the national.
Which other contests are interesting in the MPP?
There's also the national youth organizer.
Is it?
Yes. So it's a straight fight between Abdul Salam Mustafa. He used to be Sami Oku's deputy when Sami was the national youth organizer.
I see.
They call him SM or the road master.
I see.
And there's also one gentleman by name Abanga Fuseni.
Hey.
He works with the General Secretary's office. So his slogan, or people call him Obia Bedidibi. That's the name they call him.
But I'm told there are more people for the organizer as well. So because the nominations are not out, but there are some people working underground.
Yeah, so far this is what we know, and these people have told us, privately that they want to cut. And there's the one gentleman by name Michael Osei Boating. He's the regional youth organizer for the Bono region. They call him Pope.
He's also interested.
He's also interested in the national youth organizer position.
What about the NDC? What's going to happen with their national executives? For example, is Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo still interested?
Yeah, he's interested, but he will be facing a fierce contest from Asiedu Nketia. Johnson said he wants to, upgrade from the general secretary position to national chairman. But then,
is it confirmed or he's thinking about it?
It's something that he has alerted the party, but then there are serious conversations ongoing to get him to rescind his decision, so that because they think he is more solid, effective in the general secretary role. So they want to get him.
So you're saying personally he had wanted to relinquish the general secretary
and go for national chairman.
This will be the second time he's done that, because I think the previous one too, he said he didn't want to do it anymore.
He said in 2018 he said he was not going to contest general secretary position, and then he made a U-turn. That's how come Koko Anyidoho lost that election.
So General Mosquito has been general secretary since 2005.
Right after he didn't contest the Winchi West.
And for party positions, there's no time limit.
There are no time limits.
Like member of parliament, you can go as long as you want to go.
So the moment he didn't contest the Winchi West, now Banda, Tai, and then Winchi constituency. At first, used to be one. Yeah, he was the MP then. Right after that, he came to party politics and he became the general secretary.
And he's general secretary since 2005.
Yeah.
If he goes for chairman, will he beat Ofosu-Ampofo?
If he goes for chairman, he will beat him.
So he's very popular.
He's very popular. Because he all their electoral roadmaps, talks, discussions, and then meeting the people at the constituency level is General Asiedu Nketia, General Mosquito Asiedu Nketia.
Will the party allow him to contest Chairman Ofosu-Ampofo?
No, as I said, there are serious conversations ongoing to get him to rescind his decision, because 2024 is a key year for them. So they need to, let all these old executives...
But if he's chairman, he's also an executive, so what's the problem? Why don't they want him to be chairman?
Each of the executives has his or a function, his or a role to play.
So they think the general secretary is more...
He's more efficient there than the national chairman position.
I've just been informed that Titus Glover is also considering to contest the national organizer position. So, as you said, more names because we're gonna be, but then from the youth organizer level to the national level, I thought Nana has carried himself well. He a lot of people, when he was replacing Sami Oku as national youth organizer, people said that he was too small. He couldn't.
I'm even told Eric Amakuchum is also interested.
I met Eric in Kumasi when the MPP went for the conference. I had asked him about it, but he will not confirm or deny.
That means he will do it.
That's why.
Once he can't deny, because if you ask me whether I'm running for any position, I'll say I'm not running for anything. I'll take a short break. When I come back, we'll continue with this. So I just want to know whether NDC in the general secretary position as well, there are any contenders. What about national organizer and all of that? This is a political preview. If you know any candidates we haven't mentioned, let us know. And how is it going to look like? What about the other parties? Will they make any inroads this year? This is still our first show for the year, the preview for 2022. Stay with us. Welcome back to The Point of View. This is our first show for the year 2022. We're previewing the year in politics. I have Kojo Ajiman covering the NDC and their flag bearer, and Sami Wiafi covering the MPP. So Kojo, let me come back to you. So you are saying for chairman, we are not sure whether General Mosquito will go or not. Are there any other names for NDC coming up for general secretary? Yeah,
general secretary, we have former Transport and Agric Minister Fifi Kwete.
Okay.
He was former propaganda secretary of the NDC. Mm-hmm. Peter Boamotukono, who is he's the current deputy general secretary.
Oh, really?
A deputy general secretary. And then Elvis Efri-Yankra, former sports minister, former local government minister, and then currently the director of elections of the NDC. But Bernard, if the party is able to get Johnson Asiodin Ketia not to contend as party chairman, he may come back. It means that Peter,
all these people, so nobody wants to face the
because he's a formidable candidate. Nobody,
even at the age of 65.
Yes,
he's the party, Bernard.
He's
so if he decides to go for general secretary, these guys will all drop.
They will all drop.
Serious?
Yes.
But if he doesn't contest, which of these three do you think will win? Is it the only list? Are there any more, or these are the ones you know?
These are the ones that I know. The ones that have come up.
Who looks like they will win?
Fifi Kwete will win.
You think so?
Fifi Kwete will win.
You are very clear in your head?
Yes.
Hey, this man.
The election is about your base in the party. And Fifi Kwete has a strong base in the party.
Are you sure?
Yeah, Bernard.
But Elvis is the elections director.
Elections
director. Works directly with
people are not happy with Elvis because of what happened in the 2020 election.
What happened?
People were raising concerns about how the NDC collated its results. You are the director of elections at the party. People are already not happy with him.
I see. What about Otokuno? If Otokuno is in a Mosquito and they have a good relationship,
Otokuno,
so you probably inherit some of General Mosquito's.
Otokuno for a general secretary, we need a firebrand, someone who is very, strong.
What are you talking about?
Otokuno is not there yet. When I say he's not there yet, he's not really formidable to be the general secretary.
What about
look at the likes of Dr. Jose Aye, the one who Johnson Asiodin Ketia took over from. These are the names who have become.
What about national organizer for NDC?
National organizer, Joshua, former group captain Joshua Hamidu Akamba. The
incumbent.
The incumbent, he's coming. But I hear Joseph Yamin, former Deputy Ashanti Regional Minister and a former Deputy Sports Minister, is also contending. Interested. And then for the
women organizer,
Dr. Louisa Hanabisu, former.
She's the incumbent.
She's the incumbent. Former Tano South MP, she's coming back, but then she's going to face Obobia Dako,
wow.
Former Free Zones.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes.
So if Obobia versus
Hanabisu, National Women's Organizer position,
that will be an interesting contest.
Interesting contest.
That will be an interesting. What about youth organizer? What about Sami Jemfi?
Sami Jemfi, I heard was going unopposed, but another candidate, the guy with the Muntie theory, Mase Salifo Mugabe, yeah.
Mugabe is interested.
He's a broadcast journalist now with XYZ, and he wants to contest Sami Jemfi. And that is going to be an interesting contest.
I see. What about youth organizer?
Youth organizer is Giorgio Pariado,
the incumbent.
And then Broja Jemfi, the former Ashanti Regional youth organizer of the NDC. Who wanted to contest the Swami seat.
He did in the 2020
on the ticket of the NDC. Wow. He was also a Fonka boy.
So these are all names, because it's not official, right?
It's not official.
It's not official. They've made their intentions known to the party. So the moment the party open nominations, we should be expecting some of these names to.
So are they going to vote this year?
Yes, they are going to vote after February when they accept. I hear they've received so far over 80 proposals. When these proposals are amended, they will agree on a Congress date, and then they vote the National Executive.
Will the Alan Bawumia meeting come on, or they will contest each other?
But for now, they will contest each other. For now, unless there's an intervention. Intervention.
Wow. And who is the favorite?
Among the two?
Yes.
I'm
asking based on for now. Things change based on what you've seen, or it's too early to say.
Well, Bawumia, because of incumbency, playing to his advantage. But Alan is not a pushover as well.
So it's not going to be straightforward.
It's not going to be straightforward, Bernard. It's not. If anybody in MPP tells you it's going to be a straight fight, this person will win, it will be difficult to call. Do
we know who the president supports?
I don't know about that for now.
What about the ministers?
I don't know about that for now. What I'm even hearing is that, and I stand to be corrected, is that from few months to come, Alan may want to leave his position and fully concentrate
as a minister,
and fully concentrate.
But if he is still a minister, But I thought the president said...
But the president has given them... What I hear is that he's giving them up to June of this year. If you really have an interest in contesting or replacing me, bring your resignation.
But that has included vice president.
Remember...
But that has included
vice president is not a minister.
Okay.
You remember President Kufuor did same in 2007. So president has also told them...
Is Joe Gatti the dark horse? Is he Joe Gatti? Is he...
Joe will be the outsider, if I want to put it that. He was not given an appointment because he made an early endorsement. Even before Akufo-Addo was inaugurated. No, himself.
I see. So he came out, he picked too soon. Thank you, Sami Riafe and Kojo Ajeman. Our two, they cover the two leading political parties. This has been an attempted preview of the political year. There's a lot more coming up. We'll do a business preview, we'll do preview in other sectors. My name is Bernard Avle. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. The Business Dashboard is next.
The Point of View is brought to you by Cowbell Coffee. Cowbell Coffee. Taste it, love it. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal. Happy smile. Bell Aqua Active. Bell Aqua Active. Stay true to originality.